Hey, what's up guys? Sir Emanon here, back with another episode of Road to 1000 Dueling Book Rating. This time I'm going to be playing, once again, the Lunalight Orcust deck, but against a pure Kaiju deck, actually. So yeah, this list is going to be kind of similar to the regional list that I just posted earlier today. And I want to start by saying thank you guys for being super supportive in that video. Got a lot of comments on that one, and it's exciting to see how many people are enthusiastic about the deck. Asking questions or providing suggestions, feedback, etc. I definitely appreciate all you guys' comments. I also implore you guys to follow me on Twitter because I actually got a decent amount of comments saying that they were at Brooklyn as well and didn't get the chance to meet me, or that they didn't know that Brooklyn was actually going to be held that weekend, or things of that nature. So be sure to follow me on Twitter to know which regionals I'm going to be going to, since I will be posting more often on there as far as what I'm planning with my own personal Yu-Gi-Oh related event schedule. And also, what was I going to say? Yeah, since the video got 40 likes, actually got 40 likes really quickly, I will definitely be doing the regional report, and since many of you guys also requested an updated combo video, I'll be doing that later on this week, provided I have the time, of course, because I have a lot of videos planned for later this week, adhering to my schedule as well as the other videos that I want to be doing. But without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into this episode here against a pure Kaiju deck. This one's going to be a bit more relaxed since, you know, the matchup was, I'm going to say, a little bit one-sided in advance. But he actually allows me to go first because he's on Kaijus. And this hand doesn't actually seem super promising, right? We don't have a way to revive, like, Kaleido Chick or anything. So this right now looks like an Orcust hand. But I'm actually going to search an Armageddon Knight with this Rhoda here, and I'm going to dump the Kaleido Chick. Reason being is that I have like a Call by the Grave if he wants to stop this play, and I'm more than likely going to be able to access the Orcust anyway because I have Mothman as an extender, or if not I can just dig into more stuff, because then I could pitch the Serenade Dance even if the Mothman hits itself, right? So like I'll be able to get monsters for the Orcust combo anyways. So no matter what, I'll be having an Orcust play, provided he doesn't like hand trap me at like the weirdest time, or that he has a hand trap when I get this Call by the Grave pitched, actually, which, you know, if he had a hand trap that would have been unfortunate, but we actually did draw into a Perfume, which allows us to get our Tiger, so that's like super good for us. So yeah, here I'm just going to play as if he doesn't have hand traps because my hand's very explosive. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go into the Force Tricks play. That gets Zephyros, and Perfume gets back the Martin. So like when they let your Zephyros get searched, like that's usually a decent indicator that they don't really have Ash or Valor or Imperm, unless if they're really holding it for an Orcust play. But a lot of people tend to use, like, the Force Tricks is a really big hand trap magnet. So if people have their hand traps, they'll typically try and use it on the Force Tricks. So not having it be used here is a pretty promising sign for me. And it doesn't matter if you pitch the Serenade Dance or the Zephyrs here, because like if you pitch the Serenade Dance, then you'll need another discard anyway later for the Perfume here, as well as like for Griffin later too. So like even if this Perfume wasn't in graveyard and we already had like Tiger here, like it wouldn't matter since we need an extra discard regardless because of Griffin. So yeah, just things to keep in mind here. You can choose to discard however you wish if this like all goes through. So yeah, this is like a relatively standard line, I would say, at this point. We are quite ahead of where we normally are since we hadn't used a Tiger at all. So like we're able to pretty much do a Griffin combo that is you know, pretty far up there. So I recorded this video, or not video, what am I saying? I played this game kind of late at night, so I messed up my combo kind of bad, actually. And you're gonna see that I draw a Harp, and I'm like, for some reason, I was like thinking I still played one Harp, even though I updated my build online. Because I had one Harp in my online build for the longest time, and I was like, oh, well, now I can't, you know, I can't send it off the Nightmare. But obviously I'm playing two Harps, so that shouldn't be affecting my play, but I actually let it entirely ruin everything. So I actually still didn't use Martin yet, so after the Griffin play, I go ahead and use the Martin and then bring back the Kaleido Chick. So here I can have a rank 4. This should be sending a Harp, which gets a symbol. I could get Evil Swarm Nightmare. I could get Galatea, like recycle something, and then I could go Long Girsu. Then I can go Symbol Revive Galatea, make Dingirsu, and then, you know, be all good to go. I can have Dingirsu up where this mermaid is, and then I contribute the Long Girsu, and then if I want to, or if I contribute the Dingirsu and then have the Long Girsu up so that my Crescendo is alive, since I can't get Babble because it's like pitched already. So that probably would have been the play. It should have been a Dingirsu attributed for Eradicator plus a Long Girsu, but I kind of messed it up. So yeah, you're about to see what I end up actually going for. So I think I just what do I do here? Yeah, so I have a Crescendo that's like not actually live right here because I still need to attribute something for Eradicator. And this is one of those scenarios where I switched this build to have Long Girsu Galatea instead of double Galatea. If I had double Galatea, then this would be totally fine. But yeah, that didn't happen. So here we are. Actually, because of the way I did it, I messed it up anyway. So like I didn't have any way to access symbol. But again, because I'm playing 2 Harp, that should not have affected anything at all. Like I should not have done anything differently. But yeah, just a mistake from me. This was, gosh, this is like 2 or 3 a.m. So I was very tired when I made this, and I was like, oh, I have to get this video out. So like I finished recording my, I'm editing my deck profile, and then I hopped into this game. So yeah, I cast spells. He only has this Kaiju Slumber, which is fortunate for me because my Crescendo isn't live. So yeah. And actually, if this Kaiju capture mission is destroyed in possession, including by Eradicator, that means that he gets to draw the 2 cards. So if I drew Trap, or if I call Trap and that got destroyed, he would actually get to draw 2 cards. So good they didn't draw or call Trap. He Kaiju's my Nightmare. I'm like, okay. He specials his Dogaran, and then he like pauses and then unpauses. But he attacks into my Griffin, and then I'm like, okay, the attack's fine. And he's like, oh yeah, the Mermaid is making his guy lose 1,000 attacks. So yeah, he takes the damage there and sets 2. I know what they are because Eradicator, one of the reasons Eradicator is super good is you get to look at your opponent's hand too. So like you get knowledge. Like it's not like Mind Crush where like you don't have to confirm anymore technically, but like it specifically says on Eradicator to look at their hand. So yeah, you get really good information there. He could have specialed his Humongous onto his own field again, but I guess he just didn't want to do it. Well, probably because of like this removed brainwashing, I guess, but I believe if he has a Kaiju and then he removed brainwashings it, like this one back to his field, then it like immediately gets sent. I feel like that's kind of like a crackdown versus like there can be only one sort of deal or something like that. But I'm not entirely sure about the rulings on it. It's like this is a card you just don't really see. So I know what they are. I know what I have to play around. So it's pretty easy to identify my win condition at this point. I'm just gonna fast forward. It's a pretty easy Bore Sword into Symbol into the Girsu. So yeah, that's game 1. I don't side anything because my side just doesn't do anything against pure Kaiju. And I'm like, he might just make me go first again, and he does. So I hard draw the Eradicator, which is pretty nice. That means that I don't have to worry about Curious Griffin if I don't want to do it that way. But I'm like, Appaloosa doesn't really do anything either because he's playing Kaijus. Apparently he's playing some sort of brilliant package because he drew Cobra and Garnet. So I guess that's unfortunate for him. He also has the evenly matched, but I'm not going to be calling Trap against his deck because I saw the Kaiju capture mission last game and I noticed that, you know, he would draw 2 if I hit it. So I am going to go for a goods play. And this is what I was talking about my deck profile. Like, I don't use the danger effects in hand unless if like I need a play. But because I don't need to play, I can just pitch and get value. So, and then here's another way. This is going to be an interesting one. This is how you can play around Nibiru. Like, he tells me at advance he doesn't have it, but like just for good practice, I'm going to play around it anyway. So anyways, yeah, so Chick is the first summon, Martin's the second summon, and then we can go to Nyarla. Nyarla on summon can pitch a monster. Like, so say this Nessie wasn't in grave, and it was just Jackalope. This is like why Jackalope's really good, by the way, in particular. So you can go Jackalope Special Moth, that's the 4th summon, and then and that was pitched off of Nearless first effect, I should clarify that. So yeah, you can discard any number of cards when it's succeeds summoned. So I use Nearless effect, targeting the Jackalope, and then I detach these two materials as an effect. So that gets me the search for the Serenade Dance. And then I can step up into Azathoth right here. So that's the 5th summon. He can't Nibiru here, he can't like hand trap me unless it's impermanence. So I am relatively safe. So yeah, here I can just go the Orcust play, pitch the Serenade Dance, and then go into Nightmare. And because of the way that you do this, so this is basically just Chick Tiger plus like any monster. Like if that monster, if you have a monster and a way to let you extend, then that's like basically what you have, or basically what I had here. Or Jackalope basically just does the job. But if you have just a monster and like no extender, then you would be forced to use the Martin to get into the Orcust play. But if you have the extra extender, then you can use the Martin right here to bounce the Tiger and then go ahead and go for your Force Tricks play. So like what you would need for like this kind of setup that I have on board right now, like with the Nyarla Azathoth, is Chick Tiger plus a monster you can summon and a monster you can like get to grave somehow with a what's it called, with the Nyarla to be able to like target something so you can get Martin. So yeah, things to consider there, because the Serenade Dance is going to want to discard the Zephyrs that you search. So this is like ideal. If you have Perfume to start, if you go Chick Perfume instead of Chick Tiger, then you don't actually need that extra extender, because this basically gets you there, but you do need to sacrifice an extra card in hand. So you trade a card in your hand for a card in the field, and that basically gets you there. So like it's a lot of like theory, and that's why I am going to be making the updated combo video, because like it's kind of a lot to just explain without like real demonstration like of what actually is happening. But yeah, there's like a lot of variables, but you just kind of need to know what your limits are in the moment of the deck. So yeah, so because I have Eradicator hard drawn, I just go ahead and send Crescendo off of Curious, simply because like I don't think Appaloosa does anything against pure Kaiju, so just not gonna bother with it. So yeah, I haven't used Zephyrs yet, gonna do that. Also, milling extra Orcusts. I almost milled too many Orcusts here, but thankfully we play like a big enough engine to where it's fine. And here we can get rid of our extra symbol. If we drew the World Wand here, that would have actually sucked a lot, but we draw Mothman, so it's fine. So we have to send the World Wand, obviously. And then we get Galatea. He like shovels his hand a bunch. You can tell when players get impatient on Dueling Book. So yeah, I get Babel. I mess up the Dueling Book stuff because it's user-friendly interface. Then I go into Longyearsu because I want a symbol revive. So like, I don't know, Harp not having been able to special summon anything because I ran out of targets, because I milled both my Nightmare and my symbol was hard drawn. So yeah, like that also ruined. It's like I never really got to resolve this play correctly, so to speak, but it's fine. We have Dingirsu, we have the Longyearsu, we have Crescendo, we have Eradicator, so it's fine. Like, ideally, you would want to keep like a Orcust Link plus Dingirsu and then be able to tribute, but that's fine. I misclick and I tribute the wrong thing here. Obviously, you have to tribute the Dingirsu so Crescendo's live. I just misclicked there. I call spell again and it totally whiffs this time. I get to see his hand and I see, oh, it's Cobra Garnet plus like double evenly, so obviously, you know, just negate the first one so I have the Crescendo engraved for maybe a future play. That should be banished, but that's fine. So I banished everything. That should be face down, but Dueling Book didn't let me do it because I think, I don't know, Dueling Book's weird. Anyways, so get rid of everything but the Tiger because I saw he had a Gamma Seal, so I don't want him to be able to Kaiju me. I mean, it doesn't really matter, right? But keeping the Tiger is correct anyway, because that's like all your follow-up. That's like 3 summons for free. Plus you have all these Orcust monsters in graveyard that are just loaded and ready to go. So I know he doesn't really have anything, and I'm pretty much in a good spot to win this game. We draw the World Wand for turn, kind of sucks, but yeah, I go Tiger Revive, and then I go Mothman, hits the World Wand, I go Martin, sorry for the lag, I go Tiger Summon the extra Emerald Bird, make a Boros Sword with all 4, and then Symbol Revived Dengyusu, send his set Cobra. I know his other set is Kaiju Capture Mission, so this is just game on board right here. And yeah, that'll be that. So pretty, I don't know, straightforward duel in terms of how to play without really much interaction. Like, kind of just goes to show that, like, even if your board gets completely wiped, if they don't deal with the Tiger too, then you just have so much advantage on your turns. So yeah, very, very good thing about the Lunalight engine. Like, if this was like a different Orcust build, it would have been hard to like amass the resources for game, even though he drew kind of badly, right? But because the Lunalights just have so much recovery later on in the game, you can easily just make boards like this even when you start out with nothing. So that's going to be it for this game. I will hop into the deck list in just a bit here. Alright guys, so this is the list on here. The main deck's exactly the same as my Brooklyn deck profile. The side deck's a bit different in that I took out the Cowboy. It's just terrible. I moved the Tiger King from the extra to the side and I put an Evil Swarm Nightmare. I swapped a Galatea for Longyursu. I just keep going back and forth on like double Galatea and like Longyursu Galatea. But I just have to play around with it more and see what comes up like statistically more often for me. And then I also replaced Dark Ruler with Lancia. This is kind of just a test to see like how much, like what kind of different decks are going to be present in the format. So these side deck slots can just shift based on what I feel is necessary, and I think that you have to continually be adapting. So like these slots can all change for sure. But yeah, I think the main deck is still running very, very nicely. I don't think it would really change much here. The extra deck, there are some cards I want to test out, but unfortunately we only have 15 slots, and I feel like so many of these are just necessary, and it's just hard to accommodate space pretty much. But yeah, nothing too special here. It's the same thing I mentioned in that video. If you want like in-depth discussions, I would implore you to check it out. But yeah, here is the screenshot of that match from my match history so you guys can see. And oh, I actually forgot to update the header on the bottom of the screen here. So let me just do that for you guys in real time. I actually remember how much rating I got to. I got 17 ratings, so 215, and we're 6 wins. Alright. So there we go. Yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Leave a like if you did enjoy. Please give me suggestions and feedback as always in the comment section down below if you would like to see any changes or improvements or anything like that. Don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button if you want to see more videos similar to this style of video. And once again, thank you guys for watching. Hope you all enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next video. See you guys!